Hey guys, glad you are jumping in on our Wednesday call. This happens to be just hours before our biggest event of the year in Orlando, Florida. I understand Alex Abian is already headed down that way. I'm not sure if any of you guys are traveling. We're a 17-minute flight over from St. Pete over to Orlando. So we're not coming in until tomorrow. But so if any of you guys that are jumping on for the first time ever, I would encourage you to find a way to make it to our biggest event of the year. It's your good fortune that you're joining just days or hours before this event, because you've not wasted any time learning who we are. You could learn all of it like that, like drinking from a fire hose. You would meet the legends in the company, meet the top producers, meet the very fast success stories, so that you, within your first week of joining, could come out of the gates just killing it. So if you've been with us a while and you've had this great success, you clearly know the value of our conventions, the value that they bring. If you've been in it for a while, or if you've been to one of our events over the last year, that means you've never attended the Breakthrough, which is the biggest event that we have in the year. And that one is the one coming up. And so if you've been to Family Reunion, which was ridiculous, if you've been to the View, you've still not been to Breakthrough, you need to be there. All of us are going to be there, and you're going to meet these three great couples in the company that I picked to chat with you just hours before our biggest convention. We even thought about not doing this meeting. We got our biggest convention ever coming up. Should we just skip this? And I was like, nah, might change one more person's life. So, so here we are. So I'm excited about chatting with you guys. These are three of the most awesome couples that I love hanging out with all around the world. And you're going to get to meet them briefly now. And these guys are going to be at the convention. You'll get to talk to them more. So let's start with the youngest couple, not necessarily the best looking, but definitely the youngest, Brandon and Haley. If you guys would say hello, and keep in mind, most people watching have never seen you before. They're new watching and learning. But Brandon and Haley, hey guys, how are y'all doing? Kind of introduce yourself, tell them where you live, organization, etc.
Yeah. So Brandon and Haley Manley, we live in Raleigh, North Carolina. We just moved back couple months ago from Florida, and we're building out our base here, and we're direct to Andy and Jane Albright. Very direct, as she would say. So yeah, I mean, we're thrilled about Breakthrough, excited to go through it again. Last year, I think, was an amazing Breakthrough event. Although, Mark was sick last time, so hopefully he's not sick this time, but I can't imagine how much more passion he's going to bring to it. But I just know how much of an impact it actually had on a lot of people in my organization and throughout the organization. So I'm excited to see that happen again. Did you want to say anything?
I'm Haley Albright, Manley, very direct to Andy and Jane Albright, and my husband, Brandon. I am along for the ride, supporting left and right, however I can do what I do.
Okay. So my add to comments is both of these young people are North Carolina State graduates. Haley's got an advanced degree, a master's degree from NC State. Haley is our eldest child. And yeah, that's right, to the Wolfpack. Haley is our eldest child, married to Brandon. How long y'all been married now?
4 years.
4 years. It's been great. It was great getting to know Brandon for about 4 years prior to marriage. Was it 3 years? 3 years?
5 years.
5 years. Whew. So 5 years getting to know him, and then in the business with us, and married, and again had him to live down here on the island with us for a while back in Raleigh. We miss him. On the other hand, we get to see him all the time. So I'm excited because we're in business together. I love that. And their business is exploding, been extremely successful right out of the gates. Just recently, Brandon's brought on some of his friends that graduated NC State, guys that were in his wedding, and they're coming on strong, brand new, in addition to the organization they already built. So a couple comments. And we just announced a social in Raleigh, North Carolina. that I'll invite all of y'all to. We can't hold you all, but we can come close to holding you all in Haley and Brandon's living room. So what's the date on that, Haley, and what kind of snacks are we gonna have?
The date is October 6th, which I believe is next Friday.
Yes.
And we'll have drinks, snacks, party, music, pool.
Yeah.
If you want to get real crazy.
Yeah.
I think I'll be there. Yes.
You'll be here.
Yeah, I'll be there. There's another one coming up that I can't attend because I'm going to be in Mexico, but that one. And so you're invited. It's kind of a recruiting, social, get to know the people. We have people coming from Wilmington, Charlotte, Fayetteville, North Carolina, naturally, because it's close by. And then I wouldn't be surprised if we don't have a couple people pop in from another state, not estate. They'll be coming in from another state to see y'all's estate. Yeah. They'll be like, I want to see it. But come for the networking. We've got great people around there, and Raleigh's just a great place. I expect to have a huge business there. Just recruited another very successful NFL player that he's not been out of the NFL long, still got a lot of his millions, and he's joined the business. I invited him to the social. He will be in Orlando, but I'm saying he'll be at the social because I just I'm Brandon Boone with Sean Boone that y'all recruited, the NC State guy, and Maya. Y'all got so many Wolfpack people that you're bringing into your group. It's just going to be that's going to be a hotbed. And Scott Kustra, another Wolfpack graduate and an NFL player. So I just think it's going to be a hotbed. We need to find some other cousin Bennies that live in Raleigh. We got more leads. All right. Let's go with the next newest in the business. Mike and Noel are newer in the business than Alex Abian by inches or minutes. They're newer, meaning Alex and Jenny have been in way longer, at least hours longer. So let's go that routine. Mike and Noel, you introduce yourself and a little bit high level about you guys.
Okay, great. Hey, we're Mike and Noel Leventovich here in Louisville, Kentucky. Both started in the Dayton area initially, where we had known and met Alex and Jenny Avey, and they introduced us to the program. Noel first, I was not excited when I heard about insurance. I thought that meant selling to all your friends and family, and so I was like, you go ahead, but I'm not going to do this. Until later, I understood leads and how that was predictable and effective. I was like, oh, well, I could do that when I started making money. At the time, I was working in the engineering world, design and build, manufacturing systems, laser welding, robotics. That was my world. Had fun with it. Had a kind of a capped income, no passive income attached, limited income growth, but I liked what I did. But once I saw that this program worked, I thought it was a good side hustle. Then saw that, oh, you could build streams of passive income for overrides and renewals. And so we quit our careers and went full time, and we've been able to build a strong business. We're excited about what we've got, what we can do, raising kids, paying, we've been paying private tuition since pre-K through college. And, we've got a 6-figure tuition bill annually, and got a few more years of that, but just striking checks and not having to go out and finance. It's been fun, but we're still doing a lot of things, traveling, spending time with kids and parents around the world, doing things. So grateful for what we've been able to put together here. And, I think we're still excited about what we're doing business-wise. Definitely staying busy, got a lot of things going on.
Yes. So Alex, I worked with Alex in a company in Ohio, and he introduced me to this business. I'm forever grateful for Alex and Jenny. You'll see them here in a minute talking, but I'm excited for Breakthrough. I was looking for something different, and this came along, and I was like, why not? I was open, why not listening, right? And I did, and so grateful for the opportunity that the Alliance has put in front of us. Mike mentioned we've got 4 kids now, and a couple have graduated from college. We haven't had to worry about those tuition bills. They also got some scholarships too, so I'm just going to put that out there. But outside of that, they don't have to worry about their tuition. And just been able to travel and do some things that we're very excited about it. We're looking forward to this Breakthrough event. Get one more person there if you can. Just get one more. You never know. We just had somebody last night in depth that called, that's bringing a new guy to this event. So they're still out there. Keep pushing till the very end, and getting one more there. It will change their lives for sure. So we're excited about this weekend.
So overall, we've been in business 23 years together.
Yes.
Been on approximately 23 trips that these big corporations that we work for, we negotiated that they pay all expense. So roughly 23 trips. Would y'all say that?
I would say way more than 23 trips.
We used to do 2 a year, and then we sneak in some other ones. So I think we're probably closer to 40 plus.
Isn't that
I lost count at 30 several years ago.
Isn't that crazy though?
It's so crazy. It's so crazy just coming from where we came from to be, traveling the world. It's nuts.
And to know that Haley and Brandon, brand new in the business, brand new relatively compared to us, other people you're bringing in, brand new, that they could live the next 20 years with their friends traveling all over the world. We are working right now trying to decide where we're going to go in 2025. So 2023, there's a contest running. All the couples you're looking at, they have secured a spot on a cruise ship that'll sail out of Seattle, Washington, and go up into Canada and down the Alaskan Strait, the inside strait, the most beautiful views in the world. I'm thinking y'all were on that cruise that we did 14 years ago.
Yes, we were. It was a cruise to Alaska. It's one of our favorite trips. We met so many couples there. We met Adam and Beth there, really, and built that relationship from that trip forward. And they're just so great couples and friends of ours. And we met many other people, but that trip was one of our favorite trips ever.
So we finally come back around 14, 15 years. We're doing that. Starting in January. So by the way, end of September, all of October, all of November, all of December, anybody joining today could go on that cruise with us. They'd have to want too bad. They'd have to work, 6 days a week, 7 days a week. They'd have to work a lot in 90 days to win a free trip that normally takes 12 months. They could do it. Plus they get a generous bonus of points just for attending the breakthrough. If you're thinking about coming, you get bonus points, which would help you win that cruise. So we're doing that, but we're also looking at starting January 1, we're going to start earning another trip. And just FYI, we're looking at 3 fabulous trips. One that we've touched. We've been there before, but only touched it, not stayed there. That's one hint. Another one we've never touched. It's in another world. I mean, just not our world. It's just crazy. It'll cost a lot to get there. And then another great one that's not that far away. So really 3 stupid, fabulous trips will start January 1. So anybody that's not winning Alaska, if they get their stuff together in the next 90 days, so that January 1. So anyway, I just, to me, me and Jane started taking trips 30 years ago in our first sales organization when we joined the Amway Corporation. And I was just like, I wanted to make money, but these free trips are cool. Like, I just never wanted to miss it. We never made a lot of money in Amway, but the free trips, we'll get to, they're ours for the rest of our life. And now the dozens and dozens we've taken together so far. And I like traveling with me and Jane both like having our kids go along and their spouses. That's always fun. So it's been crazy. That part to me, along with talking about the great food, but talking about the trips. To me, the food and trips, or the trips and the food compared to all the money, money's ridiculous. I agree with you, Noel and Mike, paying for tuition, giving your kids a head start. But you guys have built a heck of a life. Beautiful home on a golf course. Did y'all say where y'all at? Where specifically where y'all live now?
We're in Louisville, Kentucky here.
And from Cincinnati area? Is that
Dayton,
Ohio. Yeah.
Okay. Well, good. Okay. So the senior compared to me, ain't been in this business quite as long as me, but they don't have much of a head start. Alex and Jenny Abian. And we go back before this business, but I'll let Alex and Jenny introduce themselves and tell you what they think's prime and would benefit you learning about them. Alex and Jenny Abian.
Hey, I'm Jenny Abian. We have known Andy and Jane since about 1992, 1993, something in that neighborhood. We have 5 kids who are now pretty much grown. Youngest one's 20, oldest one's 27. So yeah, we've kind of all grown up together in the business, and lots of great memories, lots of great experiences with everybody. My background's in accounting. I went to University of Dayton, studied accounting, and actually worked in that field for a few years. And ever since we've had children, though, I've been at home with them, either just raising kids and supporting Alex as he built the business, or once the kids were in school, actually, getting involved. So at this point, I do our bookkeeping, and I am the lead manager for our team. So that's about it.
Yeah, we're
Oh, and we're in Dayton, Ohio.
Dayton, Ohio. That's right. I was going to mention that Mike was so excited about getting to insurance, he got Noelle pregnant. So, yeah, there are a lot of good fruits with Mike deciding to get involved in insurance anyway. But we're fired up, man. We're excited about Breakthrough. We're excited about the opportunity to bring other people to Breakthrough. I'm so jacked that we got so many sharp people coming. And it's kind of like what I've been telling people. It's like when you bring your kids to Disney World for the first time, you're more excited about what they're going to experience, right? And that's how we feel about all these new people that we have coming, some crispy, sharp youngins that are going to come. And if it's anything, what it did for me last year, man, all the explosive growth we're experiencing this year was because of what I experienced in Breakthrough last year, man. It was just incredible. So yeah, get another person there. It will change their life. I guarantee it, because it changed mine. And whatever you need to do. And then don't assume that people that got tickets, you haven't heard from them. Don't assume they're showing up. Like, keep double checking and say, hey, you'll be there, right? I mean, because some people will always have something that will, Satan will figure out a way to throw crap at them where they'll make a just bad decision not to come. Keep checking on your people, man. Keep locking them in. Just say, hey, man, we're excited about you going to be there. We're excited to see you. I got some people to introduce you to. Man, just keep working. Work to the very end.
Tell me more, Alex, about this change. Like, clearly, you've been to hundreds of seminars. And you've mentioned this to me, but something Breakthrough a year ago. What did it do for you? What clicked? Did you go in expecting something to happen, or did you just went to a normal meeting and then you're like, what? So kind of take us through what happened, what your mood was when you came into it, and then what have you seen differently in your business?
Yeah, so I'd really gotten to the point, Andy, where I was just kind of sick and tired of just maintaining a base shop and just maintaining, and we're making great money, but it wasn't like I wasn't making as big an impact as I knew I could. And I remember back then, Chris Hill just kept, when he was with us with the Alliance, he kept telling me, dude, you're a great recruiter. You could be blowing up. And I was thinking, yeah, I hear you, in the past, right? In the past, I was like, and I don't know why I was just not believing what he was telling me. It just, so when you announced Breakthrough and Marcus said it came on the Alliance and then explained Breakthrough, that it was a different kind of event that will cut you open, that will make you evaluate all aspects of your life, and it will change you. And you know what, dude, you could say that I could have put on my cynical hat, like, oh, I've been in this business, 20 something years, and I've been to so many events, and we keep telling people that, but is it really going to be the same for me, right? I'll be there because I'm supposed to. And it's like, you know what? I'm going to come like I'm a brand new person. Like, I want people there, but the most important person was me. And I was going to go with the expectation that I was going to hear the thing that I needed to move on in my business, because I was sick and tired of just maintaining. I wasn't growing, and I wasn't making an impact that Chris Hill believed that I could. And it's like, this is my opportunity to just totally rip myself open. I didn't have any expectations other than I'm going to come and I'm going to make the change that I needed. And so I was wide open. Whatever Marcus said asked to do, I jumped in with both feet. I didn't have that, well, I wonder what this is going to be about. It was like, dude, I was like a brand new kid going, let's do it, man. I'm fired up. We're going to change tables. Let's change the tables. Let's meet the people. I was all about it. I was so into it. And dude, I tell you what, the stuff I learned there, number one, the biggest thing was I realized the shit that was holding me back. The stuff that I couldn't even describe until there. And it was like, it became as plain as the nose on my face after the exercise we went through, dude. And, when we burned that crap and we got rid of it, then my mind was open to what do I need to change about me? And I was all about it. So after breakthrough, what Mark did for me was put together the tools I needed to make sure I kept my focus, kind of like GPS. He talks about the GPS, my definite major purpose, my dream, my why, all those things. And then I implemented my daily card, my affirmation card, my goals, like all the basic stuff that you've taught me for a gazillion years. But I decided I am going to believe what he's telling me is true. And I'm going to go out, I'm going to do as if this thing was really going to work, right? You've always said that. If this thing was really going to work, what would you do different? I said, screw it. I know this thing works. I'm going to do it. And I did everything that Mark reminded me of, right? All the stuff that you've been telling me. And I just said, I'm going to go for it. And dude, we've experienced this explosion this year that has been like nothing else. And the most important part about this, and I'm going to be talking about it this weekend, is what I did to change me, because my business didn't change until I changed. And when I put the me together, when I figured out me and who I am and working on what I needed to do, all of a sudden, man, the blessings came. The Lord blessed us with all these great people and these people that were producing and the staff, dude, that just suddenly appeared that were made significant difference in our business. And it was truly a blessing, but it had to start here with me. And that's what Breakthrough did, dude. And thank you for bringing Mark Aceta. I actually flew to Mark's to meet him in Dallas, several months in, just to get my mind right. And he gave me the realization that, I could be a badass in this thing again. It's like, where have I gone? Well, I'm still here. And that's what's manifesting right now, bro. And thank you for bringing Mark into our lives. And thank you for, still believing in me, even though I didn't believe in myself.
So just to kind of give him some backup. So Alex and Jenny hired Mike and Noel. So that hierarchy that they started is massive. They started Patrick Connors, and his business, him and his wife's business is just huge. And then maybe it has a great base or outside of this top big organization. It's a solid organization. That business, I'm going to let you talk a little more about that. But because the business, Mike's continued to grow, Patrick's continued to grow, and then his outside has grown so much, and we've not made a big deal of this at all because, Fitzgerald or Alex Fitzgerald guy hired when he was 18 has had the biggest hierarchy for years with us. Abian actually, the total hierarchy numbers surpassed. And the last month or 2 months, they were number one in the whole company. So the biggest organization that I've started, and that's not to say, not to put Fitz down because he's continued to grow. It's just Abian, because of his explosion in his base, is now number one hierarchy. We'll see what happens in September. I haven't looked at the numbers. to predict where it's going, but I just know his base is growing. And when you start to understand our business, it's been fun watching Brandon, our son-in-law, get it going like, oh, the base outside of these big organizations, you don't have as much spread. There's massive profit. So Abian's profit has went up faster than his hierarchy has went up. His hierarchies went up, but the base is where his profit's going up. What do you guess in the last 12 years, your base, what kind of a multiple? Is it up 10%, 40%? What do you think, Abian?
See what right now it's like almost 3 to 4 times in the last 3 months. It went up 3 to 4x in the last 3 months. And our profitability, we're averaging about a 30% just because of the way we structured our business and in our width. We're averaging about a 30% override on that entire amount. So, I think we did 250,000 just in our base issue paid. So you do the numbers. I mean, it's and that's just our base outside of Patrick and Mike and Noel. And it's just been crazy. And so we start realizing when you start talking about, dude, you got to get with, Integrity wants to see you getting overrides. I said, okay, sounds good to me, and I just kept implementing this massive recruiting campaign. The other thing too, dude, like back in the day, remember, we poured every cent back into our business. Like we didn't buy cars, we didn't buy houses. We put every stinking dollar back into the business because we wanted to leverage. Well, you know what? I did the same thing now, and I still do it. Like I'm pouring more money back in. I'm investing more in our agents, and I'm not looking at buying a big ass house or a nice ass car or watches. I'm investing in our people. That's who I'm looking at pouring that money back into. What's crazy is the multiples we're getting back, and then giving money away like crazy. You always taught me, man, you keep giving it away, you keep acquiring, we keep giving it away. It keeps filling back up in our bank account, bro. So like everything you've taught me over the last 23 years is just, it's working, especially now. And it came from breakthrough.
So the base up 300% over a 90-day run. That's like, just FYI, people, that's a 1,200% increase in 12 months if it continues that. That is how you create multi-million-dollar income. So congratulations, whatever's flipped a year ago. I hope more people get that bug and they get it. There's so many people to me that are more talented than they know. They don't know what they're capable of. So I look forward to see next 90-day run for you. We're coming into this breakthrough. At this meeting, we're going to be pitching our national convention, which the location will be announced. The dates are already out. I was just looking at them. January, what is it? January 26th through 28th. We'll be doing our national convention, our awards, our recognition, training, party. We have a national, it's our once a year party. It's going to be so much fun. And the location, you guys are going to freak out how cool it is and how fun it is. I think you'll be glad to go there, not just get together, but a great place to go. So, Avian, congratulations, what you've done so far. I'm going to come back to you and I'm going to go, what are you looking for to get this year? Like you, like the me, and then your team. What do you want to get out of you this year? And then your team. So Mike and Noel, whose business has been steady going up, big part of Alex and Jenny. What has conventions meant to you guys? And of course, we're doing 4 different conventions. What do they mean to you? How important are they to you? What do you look to get out of it? And what do you hope your people get out of these conventions?
Yeah, I think part of what's kept us growing is going in with the idea when there's an event, hey, what do I got to change? What adjustments do I need to make? Who else is growing? Who's someone else I need to pay more attention to? Who's someone else I need to ask some more questions of to make an adjustment? Sometimes it may be you can be feeling beat up. And there's been a couple of events where we were at and we made a wholesale change. So sometimes there's something like Alex flipped, but then there's been other times like we found one piece that said, okay, here's one adjustment to take and leverage. Like I know even from the last event, we picked up on something that Brandon had done with his team on the annuity side. And so we've started to implement those steps, are seeing more growth in the annuity side of our business now. And we're claiming we're going to do $50 million in annuity business in our team next year based on what we've implemented in Roland. So sometimes it's okay, we have something we're seeking out, or sometimes something just hits us like, ooh, that's good. As they call it, R&D, rip off and duplicate, let's go take that and let's put that to use. So that's one thing we've done just coming out of the last event. So I don't know what the thing is that we're necessarily going to come out of this event here, Breakthrough, but we're definitely going in eyes wide open for ourselves. We're also making sure as leaders that we're engaging with new key people that we want to spend time with. So we've already got invites out to meals and lunch, because we're not just going there to, hey, go back at the room for lunch. Oh my gosh, I'm exhausted. No, we're going there to work. And it's like, hey man, who else do we need to spend time with, get to know, break bread with, invest more time back. So being very intentional with our time while we're there outside of the sessions. Who are we going to have a beer with or some other beverage after hours at night? Is how can we make this work for us and people on our team? What are the other things you want people to get out of?
I think Mike's right. Going in intentionally seeking something out of it. We're always planning, okay, who do we need to talk to? Who do I, Noelle Leventovich, who do I need to talk to? And what questions do I need to ask for this person for this reason? And it could be one person, it could be, 5 or 6 people. I'm not trying to connect necessarily everything. I want to get something that I can bring back home and I can implement, whether it's like Alex, like change internally within me, but also change within our organization, or what other tools or resources can we implement. And many times it's somebody at the staff level within the alliance as well that we seek out specifics for. So that's what we plan. That's what I plan. Mike plans that. And we each going in knowing intentionally what we are trying to get out of it. Now, sometimes it could be something different that we get out of it, depending on who's speaking with us. And this being open for that, but not going in looking at this as, yes, we totally want to party and hang out too, but looking at this as a way to grow within ourselves. And then also, like Mike said, who do we want our team to get around? Who do we want somebody specific within our team? Hey, we talked to them beforehand. Hey, you really need to talk to this person that's been in the same place as you, or maybe they're like Brandon and Haley, they're just kind of getting started, or maybe it's somebody else that we want them to connect with, so that it's a good person for them to, kind of build the relationship with. And we also talk to them about, hey, maybe you don't want to talk to these ones. No offense, but focus your time. You're trying to grow you and your business. Focus your time with these people, because these people are going to be busy too. Alex and Jenny, Brandon and Helen, they're going to be doing things too. So the minutes that you can get from them, take them as precious gifts, because they really are. And so those are some of the things that we're intentionally looking out for.
And I want to add one piece to that, because we've got some people recently that joined the team. We've got a guy named Chauncey. We had him on, I think, an activity call or TWC a few weeks ago. But Chauncey came on board. He was not a fast mover. He got licensed, maybe took him a month to get his license. He attended the View, came out of the View, did some stuff. Talented guy, been talented in sales, made 6 figures before, but come out of the View, hanging there, doing a little bit, right?
He was like, what am I doing here? From the View, no offense,
right.
But sometimes it takes multiple meetings. That's why you need to go back to every meeting, because you never know the one meeting that's going to change you. So I'm sorry to interrupt, but sometimes.
Right. So he hung around. He's doing work. He showed up in Miami. And I don't know if it's because he's from Miami or because he's a Dolphins fan, but somehow when he was in Miami, it clicked. And he came out of Miami, and in the last 2.5 months since Miami, he's issued like $35,000 in premium. He's on track for the trip. His cash flow is amazing. And he just said, he's like, Mia
And he's
Fennell.
hired some people.
Oh my gosh, she's got 3 or 4 people in class. One finished her class in a day. He started a class like last Friday. The guy finished the class Saturday. But bottom line is, it's like, okay, somehow it was a second event that clicked for him. And he says, listen to Mia Fennell is what hit him. He just floored him. And he said, okay, it's time for me to step up. And he has. And now the results are hitting his bank account in a big way. He's attracting people coming out of the mortgage business where he's from, because a lot of people, maybe they thought they could hang in and hoping for lowering of interest rates. And it ain't happened. That's not happened. So there's good, talented people in the mortgage business that are now like, they're at their wits' end saying, oh my gosh, I need something. So you may have friends that look pretty in their Facebook advertising about the mortgage business. They're desperate and they're looking for something. So please reach out to them. But that's sometimes it may take a second event for something to click. So get there.
A young new person that we're fired up about is just saying like, hey man, I'm here, fired up, a lot of energy. I'm like, look at the history here, but look at the future here. When you have a company so solid, 23 years, me and Haley go back 28 years. Me and Haley Albright go back 28 years. Me and Alex Abian go back, and Jenny go back 30 years. Got a lot of history. 23 years in this business together. Not Haley. She hasn't been in business 23 years, but she's kind of in the business. Matter of fact, I'm gonna come back to y'all, Haley and Brandon, what conventions have meant to you guys. Haley, you attending them since I don't know how early, 3 years old, and Brandon, before you ever got the insurance license, you were coming to our events. But we got history here and a future. We've built a foundation for a future that somebody come in and could build something. We expect people to come in and build something magnificent. So I'm glad you're listening in. I hope some more people, young people that are brand new, getting started, young in heart, young age, young with the history with us. But I want to kind of give everybody this thought. We completely sold out of Breakthrough, and we were like, oh, what are we going to do? We got more people want to go. So we were able to negotiate another room, and we moved a lot of people out of Breakthrough. So we opened up more room in Breakthrough because people were breaking out of Breakthrough and coming to a big event that I'm putting together. So basically we started a separate event, call it Albright Breakthrough or Albright Breakout. But so we moved a few hundred people out of Breakthrough, still same convention center. We're going to have the same breaks. So we'll get to interact at lunches and dinners and nighttime and early morning. We'll get to interact with everybody. So we do have more tickets available. And I know we're adding onesie, twosie, and some people are adding 2 and 3 people. But so we'll be having an event. Ours will be a lot different than the Marquesetta event because we've all attended it. And so we're doing that meeting separately. And then the other thing I want to say, carriers are going to be there. So carriers are not going to be real involved with Marquesetta's event, but at every break of Marquesetta's, the breakthrough, the carriers are going to be there. Okay. They will be real involved on my side. I'm going to have them on stage. They'll be interacting. They'll be teaching. They'll be there with us. So that's, to your point, Noel, get to know people before you need to know people. Get cell phone numbers, meet people, have a drink with them, have a coffee with them, get up early in the morning, whatever you got to do to get to know people, not just inside our company as far as like peers, but also corporate with the Alliance, Robbie Craft, Clay, our lead team, the team of BAM, the Alliance Capital, the Registered Investment Advisor. So many networking opportunities there the whole time we're there in Orlando, which is piling on to what you said, Noel. So there's my 2 comments to come back in. Brandon, I don't know when you started attending events, but what have they meant to you? And Haley, what have they meant for you? And kind of how's your evolution took place in this business, income-wise and convention-wise?
Yeah, so mine kind of took a drastic turn. I'll explain myself here in a second. So when I first came, I think I came to an event you had in Raleigh when I first started dating Haley. So this would have probably been family reunion. I started dating you in May. So this is 2014, right? And she's like, hey, we got to go to my dad's convention. And I'm like, wait, what? Like, I don't see what you mean here. Why do I have to go? I'm not in the business. I work for somebody and we have conventions and they're terrible. So like, let's go, I guess. I'll be a supportive boyfriend 3 months in, right? And so we come to the event and it was like unlike anything I could have expected, right? So because like the Friday night, I think the Friday night, it started off with like this show, like this dance show. They had like this, I mean, you had Coach and you had Gina. It was wild. And for me, my mind of what a conference was like, was a bunch of people walking around like they were dead. Like they just did not want to be there. You guys were talking to each other. It was very weird. Like y'all were excited to be there. And I just remember thinking like, what is this? Like, what am I looking like? This is your dad's company? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, well, why do they all love each other so much? You know? But it was so awesome to me because I've told you this. And what I started to see was like, there was the next event that was coming up. I knew that it was in January because at that time we had two. And I remember telling Haley, hey, doesn't your dad have an event coming up? Because it was like a different side of me. Like, hey, I want to go see that again. And you guys didn't put like a ton of pressure on me to come. You weren't like, yes, you were, you know, calling my job training and stuff like that. But you weren't like,
oh, what? We called your job a training?
Yeah, you called my job great training. You said he's doing some great training right now. And you would tell them that I was recruiting and tell them a little bit about me. But there wasn't a lot of pressure of like, hey, Brandon, get in. But it was the people that I kept seeing new faces pop up on stage. And I had no idea who anybody was, right? So I kept seeing new faces and it was just like you kept like coming to those events were just like you're just like trickling me along to get into the business, right? And it worked, right? I'm here today, but it was something like I saw ordinary people making extraordinary incomes and having an extraordinary life. And for me, that was something that and everybody was so fired up because it was their business that they were building. And that's something that drove me crazy. So, you know, I just kept coming around. And then in 2015, I got my license and I started dabbling with it. I was like, I forget the guy's name you just said, but that was me for like 2 years. Chauncey. I was Chauncey for 2 years. So he had to put up with this for 24 months. You only had 2 months. So you're in good graces. So, but I kept dabbling with it and I kept coming to the events. And it was very inspiring. And you were hearing things and it was self-development and people were actually trying to teach you what they know. And just that, like I could take a lot of those things back and apply it to that great training I had beforehand. But I knew ultimately this is something I want to be a part of. So for our, you know, like fast forward to our organization, this is something we've always been passionate about is getting to the events because we love them. But you know what it's done for people on our team, because like you guys have spoke to this, but like just from the association standpoint, I always like Mike and Noel just said, come with intent, right? Be intentional while you're there. Like, what can I learn? What can I accomplish? Like, I'm not here for fun. Yeah, we're going to have fun, but I'm here to learn something. So if I'm here to learn something, I'm going to come into it with that intentional mindset. So I'm going to be getting with my upline and saying, hey, here's 3 things that I'd really like to talk to somebody about. Who do you know that excels well in that? Oh, you need help with referrals? Brian Rojas. Let's go meet him. Introduce them to Rojas, right? Like that's the upline job now. You got to introduce these people, make that intro, and then watch people's lives just change as they get information that you may not have given them, or you may have said to them 100 times. I don't care. They come back to me and said, Brian just told me something and it's something I've been telling them for 6 months. I don't care. Like it went through finally, right? So that association piece, Andy, you hit it with the carriers. Like that's so important to know who your representative is with that company, because they will make stuff happen for you, right? Like when I go to a convention, if there's a new carrier, I want to get to know them, because if I need them, I want to know them and build a relationship with them before I need them. Because then they pick up your phone. They have your phone number saved in their phone. They pick up your phone call, right? They have a relationship with you. They know who you are. And plus, like I I think the carriers, like if I called my upline and said, hey, like I'm not able to get in touch with Kyle Gardner over at Moo, I don't think Kyle Gardner would want to hear from my upline. So, just save his tail. I start building that relationship, right? So, and hey, here's the other thing, and I'll stop talking. I'll let you talk for a second. But what I'll say is this: is if right now, if you're like, hey, I'm having a tough time selling people on coming to convention, I would tell you it's because you're not getting enough people to convention. Because here's the trick. Now all of a sudden, if I did a call on Monday, my team call, and we're talking about breakthrough, and the week before that, we're talking about breakthrough. So what I do is I start getting other people, not just hearing it from me, they share their experience with it. And now they're selling my people on why they should come. So my job just became easier, right? And it's not just me or Andy telling them, hey, you need to get here, you need to get here. Here's why, blah, blah, blah. It's other people explaining it from a different point of view that doesn't have any financial interest in them, telling them why they should come. And so anyway, I talked too long. Go ahead.
Well, I think I've been to literally every single event. And I think Brandon jokes and says when we started dating him, he thinks that I was recruiting him to come work for the Alliance. Not really. But at the same time, we love all the people that we hang out with. Like, we're not dating them, but they're all our best friends. Like the people that you guys have had the friendships for 20 plus years. We are really excited to start our friendships that we are going to have for the next 20 years working together. It's just really cool to see that start happening in our team and like the cross teams too. Like you guys have no benefit from us directly, but you help us out. You guys along the way, you're great mentors. It's really awesome. What's also really cool is I don't directly work for the Alliance, and I still attend all the events and I still get something so great out of them. I love when our team, their spouses come along because it's fun for me to get to interact with the wives and the husbands who aren't necessarily working for the Alliance. We're the support team. We learn from each other on how we can better help one another. I think that's really cool too. Seeing everyone play a part is the best part of the events.
She drops knowledge on them too. Like she'll get them thinking about the big picture. They're thinking about the small things. Hey, you're thinking about next month. I'm thinking about 5 years from now what our life could look like. So she gets the spouse's minds right. I appreciate that.
And she's gonna have social for us next Friday.
Yeah, exactly.
And this is a wedding planner, event planning. Oh, we're gonna have some good stuff there. We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna have some music playing.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. So Haley and Brandon's house next Friday. If you can make it into Raleigh, we're gonna have a social there. And it's gonna be fun. So Haley, I know like Mike and Kate, you guys are hanging out with. Like I'm curious, like who are y'all looking forward to seeing? JT, who are you looking forward to hanging out with and getting to know that are kind of more y'all's age, more getting started in the business, building the dynasty that Mike and Noel have and Alex and Jenny already have?
Yeah, I'm really excited. JT and Emily are coming. They got married last weekend. We were at their wedding and they skipped their honeymoon just so they could come to Breakthrough. We're really excited, proud of them and all they're doing so far. Of course, Vinny and Danielle, who couldn't love cousin Vinny, his wife Danielle. Those are the stars on our team. Brittany and Daniel, they're our age, and it's fun just to see our team coming up with our generation. It was a slow start in the beginning, getting the young ones on board, but I think we've got a strong group coming now. And then, like I said, we cross interact. Mike and Arcadia, Kate and Mike Marie C. We're excited to learn from them and help their teams grow so we can all do it together.
I'm thinking I would ask Mike and Noel and Alex, Jenny, who y'all are thinking. I'm thinking Brandion and Valerie, good sharp couple coming on. God, is it Jared and Angela? Not sure if I'm saying his name. It is Jared. I'm pretty sure out of Denver. Young couple that's coming on strong.
Oh yeah, Jared and Angela Hofek. Yeah.
Hofek and her husband Jared.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super sharp. They've got a Brandon that my team is selling me like crazy on. He just got started, licensed in a week. First session, booked 3 appointments, got in 3 houses. Well, he got in 3 houses. I'm not sure how many appointments he booked. Got in 3, closed 2. This is first week. So this is his first 14 days in the business coming in from Denver. I'm thinking who else. Oh, I'm not sure if girlfriend's coming, but Aaron Dunleavy,
Yeah.
Yeah.
real younger than you think.
Yeah, he is.
I thought he was 30. I think he's 25.
Yeah, 25, 26.
I should be I'm gonna let Mike and Noel or Alex, Jimmy, who young couples that we could spend the next 20 years. Who Brandon?
Jake and Bray, for sure.
Oh my God.
Love that couple.
Oh, and I mean, clearly Haley mentioned, thank you, baby. Mentioned Brandon, Michael, and Brittany. I love, man. I feel like I kind of got almost like grandchildren with them. It's Brandon's sister, Brittany, and her husband, young, super sharp couple. He just walked away. Tell these guys what the move he just made, Brandon.
He just this month he left a $300,000 income job to go full time with the Alliance. So him and Brittany are both now full time. So super excited for him. He's got a lot going on. They're building a team too. So I think they're now recognized vice presidents. And so they got a team kicking. One of the top earners is on their team, Jolene Smith. And then he's also a registered investment advisor. He's gotten 2 investment advisors on with them this month. One of the guys I actually used to work with finished his, some people take a month on their life insurance license. This joker finished his life insurance license and his 65 a month. That's John Hill. That's Kay's, and we're after Kay too, right? Kay's boyfriend, John. So a lot happening.
I love it. Who comes to mind, Mike and Noel?
So, man, there's several people. There's some brand new people that we're excited about, and there's some people that are kind of made their name a little bit. They mentioned Jake and Ray, just amazing couple, finding couples. One of the couples they found brand new, but both coming together strong. Zach and Kinley. It's Kinley Lamar and Zach Wilson out of Dallas, both tearing stuff up, learning, growing. He's just gone full time and started getting the field. She's shown what she can do full time, both starting to recruit and build. So fun to watch them. Other people we're seeing as a couple, Robert and Christina, not as young, they're in their early 50s, but coming out of sales backgrounds, putting together a team out of the Nashville area. Ron Hayes is someone down in depth under Jan Miller's team. His wife is starting to dig in with him and kind of excited to see what they're capable of doing. Jared Gonzalez, who's, I think, okay, we talk about couples, but hey, let's get for the singles, so don't feel left out. Jared Gonzalez is fun to hang with. I remember we helped her prevent a international incident in Paris because we was having a bit of fun and had to have a, how should I say, intervention from the debutantes and polices and whatever else was going on in Paris. But but she's a worker. She's talented. She's bringing on a team. Kevin and Kendra Lewis, a couple, great at selling, great at teaching, doing more and more stuff with us. So a lot of people that we're looking forward to seeing there.
Jenny, Alex.
Yeah, so what's crazy is these young people that aren't even married yet. So we got my buddy Daryl Campbell, who's he went to 2 events before he decided he wanted to share our opportunity. And so he's bringing 3 these young, sharp, single guys from the car sales business to Juan, Cody, and Eric Yates. And they're just jacked up. They're very grateful that we got them a ticket. We got them out there. And so this is like really the formation of, it's one of those things where they're not even married yet, right? But it's this ability to kind of influence these young kids into to have such an awesome life in the future. Another buddy of mine, Jonathan Earls, and his wife. I met Jonathan about 5 years ago. He joined Modern Woodman instead of joining us. And then years later, he calls me earlier and he said, I think I'm ready. I go, rock on, man. And he is like early 30s, super sharp. This guy just been doing some incredible things. He's building a team, brought in another gal, but he's coming to his first breakthrough this event. He was at the last event.
Came to Miami.
Yeah, he came to Miami and he just was blown away. So he's
Blown away.
all about it, man. And he's doing annuities. He's doing, he's selling, he's doing everything. And then he's getting into recruiting. And then my buddy Scott Mills, who he's been with you for a while, but now he's getting on track to recruit and build. Then we got one of my top producers, Rochelle. Rochelle came from Select Quote. She was doing 100,000 she paid a month at Select Quote, hated them, and chose us as, you guys, the kind of people I want to hang out with. And so she's coming, this is her second event, but I told me, you got to go to Breakthrough because it'll just, I guess 10, 15 years ago, she lost 3 daughters in a house fire. And she's had a lot to overcome. And so she has 2 daughters now. And I'm just so excited for Breakthrough for her. And like, she's already killing it. She's, 40,000 a month she paid. And, I think she'll be getting up towards that 100,000, especially once she gets to Breakthrough. So those are just some of the folks, man, that, we look at how long we've been in, but we're more excited about the next 20 years, the next 30 years, and the people we're putting in place to, continue to create these lifelong relationships, beyond what we've had now. I mean, I'm just, the past is the past, but, future is bright. You got to wear shades.
All right. Hey, so I'm legitimate young, like has not been on earth long. Brandon, if I call Sean Boone Brandon one time, Sean Boone, NC State football player, graduate, NFL for a split second, worker. What is he, 26 now?
Yep, 26.
He's bringing on Maya Spencer, who, listen to this, professional women's basketball, played in multiple countries and got paid to play basketball. What a competitor. She'll be there. She's got a team coming on. I mentioned, Phil Bagsby, and God, his wife just wrote, come out of the gate, just submitted a $92,000 annuity. Oh, I can't call her name off the bat. David McCrowski. Who else? We mentioned Jolene. So that's Harry Cardillo and Emily Katz. Ha ha. The Katz generation continues. That young couple will be there, real young, like early 20s. So, and Joe Casilla. Don't know Joe. I just know he was given to me, that somebody that we need to pay attention to, young and up and coming. So what a networking event. There's other people. When you said y'all got to know Adam and Beth on the Canadian cruise or Alaska cruise, and I'm like, y'all would have been in the business 6-7 years, but yet that's when you kind of got to know them. So people's names, they're becoming significant based on sales, based on recruiting, based on getting other people to sell and recruit. You start getting other people to sell and recruit on top of you selling and recruiting. We start figuring out how to say names like Lewantovich or Avion. Y'all should have heard me saying those names in the beginning. You get them people selling a lot, you learn how to pronounce them names. So to me, that's exciting. I've got a couple of other things. How about this? Here's some questions that you could look to get answered, that we're going to do everything, every angle we can teach, every example we can give you, how to take a person that wants to build a team and get them to understand the power of selling, to finance your team building. but their heads set, they're set on recruiting and building. Cool. How do we get them to understand where the finances come from, the selling? We're going to get them. We're going to show them how to do that. People that understand selling, understand investing in leads. They get it. Buy more leads. It's easier. How do we teach, convince, explain the power of investing in recruiting? Hello. Takes money to sell, takes money to recruit. How do we explain it? How do we teach? How do we model it? What's the value of recruiting versus selling? All right, we get this. Have you had people come into this organization, start making more money than they ever made in their life and get complacent? How do we deal with that? How do we preemptive strike that? Once it's already struck, how do we get them out of that complacency? How do we get people out of complacency? They're doing great, but we want to hear about them fighting for more. Communication, when to communicate, how to communicate, who to communicate with. Why is it critical? Why is communication like fighting? What's the hard parts about communication? What's the parts we don't need to overlook about? I mean, communication. If you hadn't read business books, you might not know this, but if you read business books, you know this. Communication is a challenge. So we're going to talk about how to communicate, how to pass messages along, how to have meetings. So those are some of the things that you can look for, that's going to be hard taught. And I would, this is the stuff that you're going to hear, I would say, in Mark Acetta's meeting and my meeting. Different personalities, but those are critical things that are going to get taught coming up in this event. I want to think about this. Each of you three is, what is, if you're given the stage, forget the conventions coming up. There's somebody watching. What do you tell them? Like, I think this is most critical. Not, I want to tell you the third most important, and then the next, and then the most critical. No, most critical. So I'm going to give you my most critical thing while you think about yours. There's a thing that most people have seen in success magazines, social media success memes. If you've been a part of a sales organization, you've heard this before. Here's the message. Don't stop 3 inches from goal. Here's another way to put it. Keep going until you win. Adversity comes, keep going 3 inches. Fight for another foot. We've seen it with this guy, a little guy with a hammer, a pick, and he's digging through underground. He's building a tunnel. And we can see the gold plain as day. And there's this much land that he needs to pick, and he gets inside the gold. But he stops and he goes and he sells this gold mine to somebody else who comes in, and they tick, 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 and they get the gold. And it's like, oh my God, you could add the gold. Oh, you had it in your fingertips. Or somebody that's a real close basketball, football game. They're so close, but they give up. All right. So that's, you say, well, that's a great thing to tell them. That's not what I'm telling them. I set you up for this. As we're hiring other people, Haley, Alex, and we're investing in the money. That's tough. I earn my money. I don't like giving my money to help him become successful. Emotions. He drive me crazy. They drive me crazy. They're aggravating. I'm not going to eat my emotions and be nice to them any minute longer. I've give up on them. I'm not going to invest any emotion in them a-holes, them negative people, these people that don't try hard. I'm not going to invest any money. Oh, the last thing I'm going to do is fly back out there one more time. 3 ways you can give up on it. So there's you, of course, don't give up on you. We're building teams that have tremendous value. It's called residual income. It's called a walkaway company. It's called building a business that will grow itself. It's like you got your own amoeba business. It just divides and multiplies, divides and multiplies. But in the beginning, it's like a little sprout. And birds are trying to get it. Alex Abian would say, and Satan is trying to get it. And the weather is trying to destroy it. And other peers are trying to pee on it. They come around, little puppy dogs, pee on it. Okay. Your job is to protect that little sprout that one day is going to produce fruit and going to produce other trees. Don't give up on your people. Am I preaching to me or am I preaching to you? So it's not just don't give up on yourself. It's you got all these people. We can't give up on them. Invest another $100, make a phone call, swallow your pride, swallow your ego, swallow your emotions, swallow your holier than thou mentality. He's so dumb and I'm so smart. He's not a trier, but I am. He's negative, but I'm positive. Swallow that I'm greater than he is emotion and help them 1 more minute, because you never know when they are going to break through the gold and you own a piece of this gold mine. That's my one thing I would like to preach to y'all 3 and anybody else, regardless of whether they come to an event. Because I got people that ain't coming to the event that I'm tempted. I'll never talk to him. I'm not even going to return his text. I'm not going to go see him. They're the last people I'm going to invest in. They should be at this meeting and. So I just heard myself talking and I'm going to reply back to him now and be nice. What you thinking, Mike? If your job was the event's not coming up, what would you sell them on?
All right, especially for someone new. The biggest thing is here you are, as you talked about, Brandon, being in training, working for someone else for several years. I said, man, you've been training. Here you are. Now you've made it to the big show, working for yourself. Can you please treat this as the best performance of your life and give it your all? So if you worked 50 hours a week for someone else, could you please work 60 hours a week for yourself and your family, as opposed to working the 50? It says, instead of cutting back, I see so many people, it's like they think, oh, now I'm working for myself. Now I'm on vacation. Now I'm entitled. Or they're thinking about the McDonald's commercial. You deserve a break today. I said, no, you don't. You ain't done nothing yet. And it's like, now maybe Zach Wilson did when he went in to play quarterback for the Jets. Maybe he thought he deserved a break and said he sucked. And they're talking about throwing him out of New York. Pardon to my Jets fans out there, but I'm oh my gosh. And it's like, but bottom line is that here's your chance in the big show. Can you come at it with everything you've got instead of half-assing it? And so I think so many people that they come in and they're not understanding, hey, I got to embrace failure more. I got to try harder. I got to do more for a period of time to create momentum. And it's like, it's going to be harder, just like the plane. They tell you, keep your seatbelts on until we get up to 10,000 feet. You know, buckle in and go all out until your cash flow is running at a certain level before you stop, catch your breath, and take a break. Postpone some indulgences. Hey, can you yeah, you can do something, but man, don't take a 3-week vacation in your first 90 days or first year of what you're doing. I think some people say, oh, we see Andy, we see Alex, we see these people taking trips and doing fun stuff. Yeah, they've built up the hundreds of thousands in passive income. They've earned that right. But you should have seen them or seen us when we was out there grinding and putting in 14 or 12 or 16-hour days, 6 days a week or 7 days a week to get the ship off the ground. Well,
I remember going to an event, speaking of events, and John Maxwell was a speaker at the event. And he said, all good things are uphill. And he pointed uphill. All good things are uphill. And I just remember that because as we go through stuff, remember, all good stuff is up here. And he said, consistency, it's not a sexy word, but it's a successful word. And so you see Alex and Jenny, you see Andy, you see Brandon and Haley, you see all these leaders. They went through stuff and are going through stuff. If they're not going through something, they will be going through something, but all good stuff is up here. So consistency, activity, focus on what you're trying to accomplish. That kind of goes through with what Mike said and what Andy said in terms of staying consistent with the focus and the activity and the coaching that you get with the right coach. Make sure you're talking with the right coach. But to get up here, and guess what? There's never an end to up here, because once you get up here, there's another up here level. That's what Mike and I are working on, our next up here level. So that's what I would say.
That's some, yeah, you done laid it on us now. Hey, so Haley and Brandon, I want y'all thinking about that, what you're going to tell them. It is Andy Lynch and Crystal Lynch. She did just pick up her first $92,000 annuity. She's been in the sales, I think, 2 weeks now. Been licensed 2 weeks. By the way, it was Andy. Crystal came to the last family reunion and became Crystal. Don't get me wrong, Andy's killing it, but it's Crystal. She's the highlight. They'll be there. They've actually got 2 people going to be there. This Joe Casello is one of their guys, fired up out of his mind, and also Reese Bologna, which is part of Phil Bagsby group, that's going to be there. And I want to mention a couple, because we would like some prayers, but this is one of our most up and coming couples, is on Mike and Noel's team. It's Sarah and Pablo, and Alex and Jenny. It's hierarchy. Sarah and Pablo Seifert, and they're young, they're sharp as everything, they're growing like crazy. They will not be attending a meeting, so we would ask for y'all prayers. Pablo is currently going through a massive emergency situation, health situation, that not in an accident, no foul play, it's just a health thing that he's dealing with, that we would ask for all y'all prayers, because he is in literally a fight for his life. A young couple with young children. So Pablo is fighting for his life. So Sarah would appreciate it. Sarah will have a team at Breakthrough, people that she's recruited. They will not be attending. They're fighting for their life, and we're all keeping in close touch with them. We love them. And it's life. It's life and death. And it's a tough situation for them, that we're all trying to stay positive and upbeat and high expectations and highly prayerful, that because they are one of the young couples that were getting everything organized to be there on Thursday night last week, and this weekend they started fighting for his life. So that said, no other updates other than he's doing better. Still a fight of his life, doing better is what I'm hearing through text. So okay, all right, Brandon, Haley, well, your shot.
All right, so I saw Mike jotting some stuff down. I was jotting some stuff down. I feel like we're in unison here, brother. All right, so most critical to me is, like, my boy Jeff Schultz always says this: don't be dipping your toes into this, right? Like, that's his favorite thing to say. I love it. And, but what I would say to people is, like, give it all you got. Yeah, you're going to go through some bad times, but you know what you do? You outwork them. You outwork those bad times. I remember now 2 years ago, one of the things that Andy did for me that really changed my pace here was my father passed away from COVID. And I went through, a 2-week period where I was in a slump, right? And just trying to figure out everything, like funeral, all that crap. And so there's this weird thing, because when you go through bad times, there's some complacency in that, some comfort in that, right? Staying in that because you got a good excuse, right? Like, what? Hey, my dad just died. That's a good excuse, but I don't say excuse, but you get what I'm saying here. But what he did was he showed me, he said, hey, Brandon, I need you to meet me here. We're going, and we went for 2 weeks around the country on one of his legs. And what that taught me is when I started working, like, there was no play. I mean, it was like we were there to work, and it took my mind off of it. So now when I have somebody dealing with something, when they're going through a bad funk, it's like, give it all you got and go work harder. And here's the thing that we'll say a lot within my group is try, fail, adjust. When you're getting started, try, fail, and adjust. Adjust is the coaching. Reach out to somebody, get some coaching. So try, fail, and adjust. Because people, here's what I hear all the time is man, I want Megan Woods numbers. I want Brian Rojas numbers. I want Mike and Noel's hierarchy. I want Alex and Jenny Abian's hierarchy numbers. But the thing is you're focused on what you want, and Andy's got a coin that says, how do you get it? All you're focused on is what you want, not how you get it. So that tells me that you want the results that these people have, but you don't want the process that they went through to get to that. So, but believe me, these people didn't get there without just going all in on it. And so I think that's what you got to do. Stop toying around with it. Stop treating it like a hobby. Treat this like a job, and it'll change your life. I tell young people this all the time. And I know I'm young, but I'm talking to some 20-year-olds, 21-year-olds. And I'm like, dude, like if I could have found this at your age, but just think like if you just put your head down and worked your tail off to build something over the next 5 years, hell, 2 years, what would your life look like? Imagine 2 years down the road, you just put your head down and you get to work, and now you have a $50,000 residual income. You think you're going to be disappointed in what you've accomplished that far? No, you're going to be like, all right, what's the next 3 years look like? And that's what I mean when I say give it all you got. Don't get into this and say, hey, I'm going to give it a shot and see how it goes. No, as Jeff says, don't be dipping your toes. Dive head first in. Let's get to work. Let's make some money. Let's change some lives.
Yeah. Well, I think we've had the best example of that through Mom and Dad, Mike and Noel, Jenny and Alex. Y'all worked so hard when we were young. And that's what I think about. We are working so hard when we were young. So 5-10 years from now, when we have kids, we get to show them this awesome life. We get to show them Mom and Dad did all this hard work so you could be here.
And it's crazy because y'all ain't even stopped. Like, y'all still going.
Kids, did you say kids? Is that what she said? Kids?
I said in 5 to 10 years.
Kids. She said, all I heard was kids.
We're getting somewhere.
Kids.
Yeah.
Grandkids. Grandy, that is. Grandy. Andy. Grandy. I tell you what, kids are expensive when they're young, they're expensive when they're old. And you gotta keep, it's tougher to impress them when they get older. I tell people this time, I always like it when I impress Spencer or Haley, I'm like, that's right. Because of what they've seen. So that's part of Mike and Noel and Alex and Jenny is continuing to impress them kids. Alex and Jenny, what would you lay on my friends and family and neighbors and best buddies in the world? What would you lay on them?
The thing that really comes to mind is take responsibility for everything. If you take responsibility for everything that happens to you, then you have a chance to make it. Because when you start blaming everybody else and everything else, and your upline, the leads, the arc doesn't work, or my commissions, or the carrier, or underwriting, or the client didn't pick up their phone, or you see, like, if you just take responsibility that you didn't call enough, you didn't call your upline soon enough, you didn't check the commission, understand how the dadgum commissions work, if you take responsibility that something didn't happen because of what you did or didn't do, oh my gosh, you'll make it. I promise you'll make it because you take full responsibility. So that's one of the biggest things. And then the second one, man, don't judge. Don't judge your upline. Don't judge your downline. You make business decisions on what you examine and what you inspect, right? But don't judge their character. Don't judge them because people are judging you, and so be careful. Your upline might be going through stuff. Cut them slack. Go to the next upline that can help you. Like, be resourceful, right? And then third one is be quick to forgive. Number one, forgive yourself. Number two, forgive anybody and everybody, because unforgiveness is like you drinking poison, expecting the other person to die, right? Unforgiveness is the source of so much of what holds you back, and you need to figure out how to forgive and move freaking on, because there's so much life that you've been blessed to live, because God gave you another day to wake up. And so when you have that gratefulness in your heart, that you have another day, forgive, don't judge, and then take responsibility, you'll have an awesome life. And it doesn't mean it's going to be easy. Like, please don't pray for easy, because easy is the death knell of success. Pray for hard. Pray for understanding how to get through the hard, because it's always going to be hard. But that's what makes us awesome. That's what makes Andy awesome, Mike and Noel, Brandon and Haley, is that, and my wife Ginny, is that we understand how to get through the hard stuff, how to handle the negative, right? So, Jenny, what do you?
Oh gosh, I'd say when you come home, if your spouse is not with you, so you're there by yourself, maybe your spouse isn't on board yet, don't come home like a freight train. If you come home and you're trying to pile all that on them instead of trying to draw them in and bring them with you, it's going to push them away. So I would encourage you, when you come out of this event and you come home, and whether it's your spouse, whether it's your family, whether it's your team that wasn't there, be a magnet and draw them in with you, with your excitement and your wishing the same for them, rather than trying to push everything that you got on them. Draw them in and draw them with you.
I'm headed to Orlando tomorrow. The kickoff, the meeting people in the lobby, night owl tomorrow night, who we're going to be hanging with after the event, Marcussetta's kickoff, my kickoff. More committed than ever. More committed than ever, more excited than ever, more convinced together, more like, I think it's going to be hard to find anybody in that event in this either side that has a higher belief than I do that the next 90 days of the Alliance coming into the national, it will be the best 90 days we've ever had. The next 2 years, the best we've ever had. The momentum, ABM was like, hey God, everything's going so good, we just got to keep going. I believe it's going to keep going. I believe the next 5 years of the Alliance may prove to be the best wave that we've ever ridden before. Brandon and Haley, and I'm going to say Spencer and Meredith, and I'm going to go Valerie and Brandion, and Andy and Crystal, and JT and Emily and Harry, and Jake and Beret. This might be the biggest wave we've ever seen. Like, we see it. We feel it coming. Start swimming, baby. I got cold chills. You're going to see me. When you see me Thursday night, I'm already going to be swimming to get on top of this wave and ride this damn thing as far as I can ride it up on the top of this thing, looking out here going, woo-hoo. Integrity, baby. The Alliance is coming through. The Cats team, the Avian team, the Levon, I can say his name, the Levontovich team, the AMG team. We're going to ride the top of this wave, baby. Let's go, Fitz. Let's go, Riddle. Let's go, Bel Air. Let's go. Let's ride this thing coming in tomorrow. So these new people come in, they go, what is wrong with you guys? What are y'all on? We go, we own a wave. That's what we own. We own a wave. That's where the excitement and enthusiasm comes from. Let's bring the belief. I know Jane Albright's talks are going to be phenomenal. She's been bringing me coffee and sneaking around, keeping in the back light. And she's already, her clothes are hanging up. She's packed. I got to get packed. I can't wait to see y'all. I'm going to bring it. I want y'all to bring it. And let's go find one more person and let's put in some more wit and depth. And let's get some more people to enjoy these trips. All right. Love y'all. Thanks. It was incredible. Great job. Let's go.